Zakoa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End Times is here. Stay tuned.
Well, what you're looking for, I hope that you will find right here with us on New Era TT Radio within the next 45 minutes or so as you get ready for Every Cent Counts. And it's a Monday, and we are joined by Garth Thomas on a Monday for Every Cent Counts. Whenever Garth is here, it's always a great time. So, Mr. Thomas, a great Monday morning to you. How are you doing?
A great Monday morning to you, Sir Charles, and to NETT Radio, and to all my peeps in the land.
Yes.
Yeah, Sir Charles, we are at a fantastic point in our history and in our development. I had not given it any thought, but last night it was brought to my attention that it is 63 years of panorama, Sir Charles.
Wow, that's a long time, man.
That is a long time. 63 years of one of the most entertaining, enthralling, inspiring, pulsing, whatever adjective you want to throw in there, Sir Charles. Music in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yesterday was a significant day for me because I started the day watching the Australian Open men's final. All right. Novak Djokovic, the veteran, 38 years old, which you know, for a lawn tennis player, that is old.
Serious? Yeah.
38 years old in the final of the Australian Open. Listen, to get to the final itself, by itself was an amazing achievement. Up against the young, up-and-coming 22-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. And it was a great spectacle. It was a spectacle of a high level of excellence and performance on the part of both. Now, Alcaraz won, but I'm telling you, it was amazing. But you know what blew my mind about the whole thing, Sir Charles?
What is that?
Sir Charles, you know how much you had to pay for a courtside ticket for that Open final?
Oh my God.
All right?
I can't even imagine, guys.
$5,500 for a ticket.
Wow.
For an event which I think it lasted about 3 hours, but it could have gone to 4 or 5 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that was at a steep price. All right. Such as Adrian Baker of Vibes International was trying to get on. He asked me if you can see him.
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
All right. Because I'm not seeing him on my screen.
Yeah, no, right, I know that. He's here.
Yeah, lovely. But Sir Charles, it was an enthralling experience watching that final. But you know, at the next end of the day, I was watching a semi-final. You know what semi-final I was watching, Sir Charles?
In Panorama.
Panorama 2026 in the Grand Savannah,
Yeah,
in the yard. Yes? And let me tell you, Sir Charles, on the 30th of January, I celebrated my 78th birthday. So I told myself, since I in my early teens, I going down in the savannah. Them days was a storm panorama.
yeah, that was the flick, the storm.
Right? So I know panorama been around for quite a while. Not as long as I have been. But it started during my lifetime, during my early years. And now it is 63 years old. How much for a ticket to go to Panorama semi-finals, Sir Charles? I didn't check.
I think it was like about what 4 or 5 something, no.
No big thing.
Okay, 400.
No big thing. No big thing.
Grandson and North Stand.
Yeah. Sir Charles, I get vexed last night.
Right, your band plays along the road.
I shouldn't say I get vexed. I got angry.
Why?
Had nothing to do with my band. It had to do with the fact that as a nation, we do not understand our value and the value of our culture. Yes? Because, Sir Charles, I don't know if you have been. Maybe I talk about it on the show already because it's one of my pet peeves, but I want to talk about it again. All right? Such as I went to London years ago, and that might have been in the 60s. All right? It would have been in mid-70s somewhere in the mid-70s. Went to London. I had to see the Crown Jewels, Sir Charles. The amount of hype there has been about these Crown Jewels. I say, I must go to the Tower of London and see these Crown Jewels. I joined a line, me and my wife. The line was going around the building, a corner of a building. And we said, well, when we reach around the corner of the building, we're going to be there. When we reach around the corner of the building, it's because the line going up the next side of the Tower of London.
Yes,
then in another corner. All right? So we had to go through all of that. And then when we bend the corner, we finally got to go inside. So Charles, you know what was the most disappointing part of that visit?
Yeah, you spent 10 seconds.
I am telling you, you can't even stand up and watch the jewels. I mean, it's bad enough that they thief all them jewels from India and all over the place. All right? It's bad enough that they thief it. All right? Now they're charging you, well, it must be about 20p. Maybe in them days it was about 10 pounds. I don't know. I can't remember how much it would be. But Sir Charles, they make around 1.7 billion pounds. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not million, eh?
Yeah.
1.7 billion pounds. That is about 17 billion TT dollars per year.
Yeah, that's about a third of the budget.
Oh my God. You see how you're hitting the mark right there?
Yeah.
All right? And Sir Charles, I will tell you something. I'm not going back. Sir Charles, while horses could not get me to go back and watch those Crown Jewels, it was a memorable experience for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? For all the wrong reasons. Sir Charles, last night, I witnessed a show that starts since early in the day, since afternoon sometime. Went until after 12 o'clock last night. All right? And people pay $500 and things for this show. So Charles, I am wondering what our dear Prime Minister and her cabinet, because you see, you can't blame her alone. The Prime Minister and her cabinet wonder what they were doing yesterday. I wonder if they were in the savannah. And if they were not in the savannah, which is where they should have been, I wonder if they're watching it on TV. Or I wonder if they was watching some, Equalizer or Furious 7 or somebody on TV. All right, which had nothing to do with us. Okay? But if they were watching Sir Charles, I am wondering now if they understood, if they realized that the solution to all our financial woes as a nation was there for them to see and for them to understand that instead of doing dotishness, and I make no apologies for making this statement, dotishness in withdrawing sponsorship from steel bands, Sir Charles. NLCB Buccaneers, the leader, on interview last night, all right, say they came across here in faith because they didn't know whether they were going to be taken care of, whether they had any sponsorship in place for them. Sir Charles, that is the crown, one of the crown jewels of our culture, Sir Charles. You cannot put a dollar value on what took place in the savannah last night and what is going to take place next week. All right? You know what is the word that you have to use to describe that, Sir Charles?
What is that?
Priceless. Sir Charles? Priceless. Okay? The Louvre in Paris, I never visited it. I went when I saw the size of it and I watched at the time that I had. I said, but I ain't going to frustrate myself going in there to race around all the exhibits and so on. So I didn't go in. But the Louvre makes about $9.3 billion every year. All right, 9.4 billion. It's 938 million pounds. So you have to translate that into TT currency. But they're making plenty money. But you know what, Sir Charles? When you go to these places, you can't jump up and make any noise, Sir Charles. You cannot let yourself go. Sir Charles, I am sure that the experience has great value in it because of the historicity and the length of time these gems have been, these paintings and all the kind of artifacts and whatnot and stuff. But Sir Charles, none of these experiences can compare with being in the big yard and listening to steel band after steel band after steel band after steel band. Excel, Sir Charles. Listen to me. That experience was absolutely mind-blowing. And there was so much going on. Let me stop for a moment and take the time to congratulate the commentators, Sir Charles. Abeo Jackson, I hope I pronounced her name correct. Joshua Joseph from Pantrinbago. I was glad to have a senior Pantrinbago guy there. And a guy named Marcus. I didn't get Marcus' last name. So Charles, I went online this morning looking for the names of the commentators for the semifinals for Panorama 26 in Trinidad, and I could not get names, Sir Charles. They had some drivel about the names not being finalized or some kind of dotish talk. All right? You could find everything else on Google. But somehow, the names of our commentators for Panorama Semifinals 2026 did not reach them. And I am telling you, these three people, all right, along with all of the captains and drill masters and stuff from the various bands that they interviewed, listen to me, the quality of those interviews, Sir Charles, was high. All right? It was it was history being revealed. You find out stuff about bands and their names. All these years I hear about Funclair Steel Orchestra. I didn't know that Funclair was a combination of two street names in San Fernando, where the band resides. I can't even remember what the two names are.
Right.
But it's Funclair. Listen to me, man. Sir Charles. 63 years of Panorama. Young, if you watch the composition, Sir Charles, of each band, yes, you had old, you had medium age, you had youngsters. Oh, the youngsters were there, Sir Charles. Sir Charles Pan in good hands, you know, man. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going to fade, you know. If you see those children perform, and then when you hear the backstory about practicing until 3 o'clock in the morning and 4:35 in the morning, and if you listen to the stories from within the panyard, the respect that the drill master evokes, and the arrangers and the tuners and the band leaders, and oh my goodness, Sir Charles, the demographic mix was amazing. And the discourse was highly intelligent in terms of analysis of the music and the various components of the music. And the fact that, without exception, it was highlighted that the involvement in the PAN was a community building activity like no other. All right? And that it generated high levels of camaraderie. And I heard people from one band complimenting the performances of their the people they're contesting against, of their competitors.
Yes.
So Charles, to me, I mean, well, you could realize how passionate about the thing.
Yes. And I remember, and that is so important because you remember where steel band came from.
Exactly.
And the history behind it. Where
exactly.
The one side meet the other side on this fight and the Cutlass Wars and all the
yes. When men go down here in the band, they used to have the Cutlass and the thing hide in the base pans and thing and all. Yeah.
When you think of that history, I think when I look at how that turnaround from where pan is, where nobody wanted to be associated with it, where it came from, to now people in universities are studying it and everybody wanted child and yes, you know how many women in pan?
Yes.
You know,
it's the gender mix. That was the next thing I was to talk about. The gender mix, men and women, boys and girls.
Yes, you know,
right?
I mean, people now take the children to panyards.
Why, Charles, you ever watch how those people beat that pan?
Yes.
There
play. Don't let them hear you say beat now. Sorry,
play. My bad.
Don't let no pan man hear you say in today's world say beat. They don't beat no pan again.
No, they play the pan. But listen to me. The pride that is evident whilst they playing the tune, Sir Charles.
Yeah.
The interaction between the players.
And the enjoyment and everything.
The facial expressions, Sir Charles. Listen to me. I have never played in a pan side, far less on a panorama pan side. But let me tell you, that has to be a priceless experience, Sir Charles. I don't think there's an equivalent to that anywhere in the world.
You know, it's
all right.
And that whole thing about
identity, yeah.
And that whole thing that you mentioned, Fun Rose and Clare Street.
Right, that is it. Fun Rose and Clare Street. That's how you get Fun Clare. I wonder how many people know that, Sir Charles.
Yeah.
All right. That's part of our history of pan. All right. And Sir Charles, I don't know. This is. I'm telling you. This thing is priceless. And now, you see, maybe, Sir Charles, we had an excuse before. But you see, now with the internet, now with social media, now with the ability to export these images and songs and expressions and vibrations I know that word has a special significance for my guest this morning, the chief evangelist Adrian Baker. Sir Charles, listen to me. People should be paying $550 to be at the finals. Of course, the locals gonna say that they're not gonna price them out of the market.
Yeah.
But listen to me. There is so much that can be done with this crown jewel, and you have it's not just this government, Sir Charles. I want pound this government because and let me go down that road. All right, but they are no different from governments before. Nobody. The best they can do is give some lip service to the uniqueness of Pan, but it does not manifest itself in very powerful terms. The French government subsidizes the operation of the Louvre as a cultural institution to the tune of millions of dollars every year. Our government taking sponsorship from Pan. Ooh. What it is wrong with us? When they should be looking, such as the level of excellence that I witnessed in the morning at the Australian Open, and the level of excellence that I witnessed across the board at Panorama last night. Listen to me. I can't say chalk and cheese, but they were at least equivalent. All right? Our Panorama is an amazing thing. An absolutely amazing thing. And Sir Charles, there were 17 bands last night. How many making it to the finals? 9?
It was supposed to be 12, but I think because of the amount of ties that took place, I think only one or maybe 2 bands might be left out.
Okay.
The finals will be a big finals.
I have said it before, and I will say it again. Every band that makes the finals should be sponsored on a tour somewhere across the world by this government. Everyone, as a part of a promotional package for Trinidad and Tobago and its culture and its food, expressed by my guest, who must be wondering if I will give him a chance to talk.
Well, I know, mentally, don't forget the guest because I'm already looking at the time.
Yeah. Cultivate. So Adrian, I come to you. I mean, I had to talk about it because people make money out of carnival. Individuals. I saw a lady coming up the street on Frederick Street in the afternoon while I was going down, and she was pushing a grocery cart with water and drinks and whatnot on top. Obviously, she was going up to the savannah to make $1 or $3. But Sir Charles, that's all that she is going to make, $1 or $3. And the government, our insightful government, all right, I hope you get the sarcasm in the term, all right, going to settle for the country making $1 or $3 from this amazing experience. Adrian, again, Kaidawe again, tell me your thoughts, all right, on Panorama and its potential for national transformation and financial gain for the nation as a whole. Tell me.
Can you hear a distant drum?
Aye.
Bouncing on the laughter of a melody.
Yeah.
And does the rhythm tell you, come? Does your spirit do a dance to the symphony?
Does it tell you that your heart is a fire? Does it tell you that your pain is a liar? Does it wash away all your unlovely? Are you ready for a brand new
revelation, Mr. Thomas?
What's that?
Are you ready for the revolution, Mr. Thomas?
I am ready. I am anxious for it.
Things happen either by evolution or by revolution.
Revolution. Okay.
That's right. So in the traditional sense, my apologies. A great morning to you, Mr. Thomas, Sir Charles, and Radioland, New Era Radioland. Revolution happens when evolution feels like it's taking too long. I can hear the passion in what you have been speaking about for the last 29 minutes. So then you should have enough in you to start the revolution.
Okay.
So Mr. Charles has created a safe space for us to have the conversation. I challenge you, God, to create a brave space to go and start the revolution. I'm right there with you. I know some other people as well would be.
Well, I hope when we open up the mics that we will get, comments pouring in about people who are willing to participate in that. We had to call it the pan sticks revolution, all right? Because them pan stick, that is vibration. That's the source of the vibration between that and the pan.
So they're magic wands, you would say then.
Like yes. I love it.
Trinidad doesn't have the same history for revolution as many of the other islands. Tobago has more revolutionary experience, uprisings, etc. But the steel band history was a revolution.
For sure. Canbule.
Can it be fair to only leave it within the steel band fraternity when it has such an impact on someone like you who has no affiliation with PAN, but just a conscious national? I hear what you're saying about the powers that be in government now, before, and whoever's coming after, that they aren't doing enough. But my question is, are we doing enough, making noise, that they cannot ignore it?
Yeah. Well, I that's a damn good question, Adrian. And I have to say, I don't think we are. But I'm just saying we have the means. And we have the means not just here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have a diaspora that I recognize as one of the most powerful elements in our national structure, who, because of their exposure to life abroad, have a perspective that we here in Trinidad and Tobago do not have, as a perspective from which the nation can benefit. And we must find a way to mobilize this diaspora and our people here, all right? Because it is our thing. It is our thing.
As you mentioned, the diaspora. I don't know if you're aware, but Trinidad and Tobago has one of the lowest remittances of any country.
Is that right? No, I wasn't aware of that. That is interesting.
Yeah. One of the lowest.
I know it's big in Jamaica.
Yeah, big in Jamaica, very small in Trinidad. What that means for the general public is when our people migrate, get an opportunity to go outside and create greater value for themselves, a lot of them don't look back. A lot of questions we have to ask ourselves. This is one. Why is that? What happens when your brother, your cousin, your friend, your schoolmate goes away? What happens when they go away? When they return, what is that like for them? Are we creating an enabling environment for them to want to come back, want to share, want to give back? What's their loyalty to here? If they are having difficulty getting anything done, not just exclusive to the government. You can call a company the same way you can call a government agency or a ministry and spend 45 minutes on the phone and not get anything from it. That's corporate, that's government, that's small business. That's a fact. Are we doing enough? And if it is, the government can do what they're doing and get away with it, why then should they change?
Yeah. Yeah.
What we can do is stop looking to get riches and wealth in a way that's abundance, and look inside of ourselves and find the wealth inside there. That way you will have an opportunity to find enough.
Well,
the difference between two different people can be who can riches outside and who can find the riches and the wealth inside.
Yeah. Well, I think that the withdrawal of sponsorship for many bands is really a poke in the ribs, is really a wake-up call for bands, because every band has a panyard, yeah? And every panyard is a theater of our culture. And I'm not just talking about the pan music. It is about kaiso, it's about mass, it's about food. Yeah. And since, although we do not have a very big cruise ship visitation, that could change. But whenever there's a cruise ship in, every panyard, because a cruise ship has have thousands of people on it, you know. All right? It not hundreds, you know, it's thousands of people on a cruise ship. And every panyard should have a show. Not just a night show or something, but a whole experience where people could come off the cruise ship. The taxis bring them to the various panyards and stuff. They have a selection where they want to go. They could get advice and so on. And they could have a pan side could generate significant income for themselves and tell them sponsors to go and where to go and stuff it.
Yeah.
All right. And this is a wake-up call for that, because when people sponsor, they want to control, and that have problems in it. What do you think about that?
We can go a long way there. It's easy to say as a promotion for the cruise ships. By the way, a cruise ship capacity that will come into Port of Spain can be between 1,200 and 3,000 people. If you're pairing the different elements of the culture, say you come to the hottest steel pan in Port of Spain, you visit the hottest steel pan in Port of Spain, and you visit the island with 4 of the 10 hottest peppers in the world. Simple like that, just off the cuff. With regards to how to monetize the culture, there has to be trust in any relationship. You have to trust who you're working with. Do we know the value of the tourism industry globally? It's 11.1 trillion with a T, trillion US dollars annually. I don't know what oil is. I cannot say, but I know what we have is the capacity with steel pan, with calypso, with limbo, with chutney, and with barbecue cocktail.
And that is an inexhaustible resource. It's not a diminishing resource, you know. That is an inexhaustible resource. Come on. What are we thinking about? Okay, and it will provide income earning opportunities for a wide cross section of the population. Everybody can make real money off of it. And you know what I was thinking about, Adrian, that you don't even, you know, the next thing I say, they have enough berths for the cruise ships, which, you know, is a lot of BS, because a cruise ship could stay out in the Gulf Stream, come in as close as they can, and you can create employment now for pirogues and all of those boats and stuff to ferry people in, which is a part which adds to the. Listen, I went to a place in Mexico years ago, called the Floating Gardens of Xochimilco. But boy, I've never forgotten these Floating Gardens of Xochimilco. You know why? Because it was so heavily promoted, they say, about the place where slaves used to run away and they used to take reeds that they could go under the water and breathe through it so that they don't have the people can't see that they're swimming away and whatnot and stuff. I said, boy, I have to see that place. But when we reached to see this Floating Gardens of Xochimilco, you know, it's like a dry river, but it's just in dry. All right. One set of weeds. You know what was the attraction? Mariachi bands on flat bottom boats that took you down the river. All right. The muddy river. All right. I ain't seen no garden floating yet. All right. What I saw was what you call it? A flea market, because that's where the boats took you to a flea market. Okay. And I am saying, boy, the cruise ship industry is a huge thing. You have cruise ships lining up to come to Trinidad, and you create a whole flotilla of flat bottom boats with a small pan side on it or whatever. And from the time they hit, they start to get the culture. All right, they start to get doubles on the boat and all of those other things. You know, when you go down Caroni, the city Scarlet Ibis. All right, they have a real thing. All right, let me dismiss a call here that coming in here. Yeah. All right. So I don't know what's really going on. I know what's not going on, but yeah. It's such as I don't know if you want to open up the lines early, because I would hope that the nature of what we're talking about touches the population. All right, but I have to come back to you know the other thing about the panorama last night. I want to talk about Adrian. There was a sense of legacy. Listen to the word legacy. Okay, that pervaded the whole panorama. All right, because it's 63 years of panorama, and a lot of the bands here tune at some of the band play now. Way the Lizard, way back to the 90s. All right, the Will with Scrunter. All right, and you know, Last Train, and oh my goodness, you had new tunes and old tunes, a real mix, and you had such excellent arrangements and performance, and the vibration was amazing. I couldn't go to sleep.
By the time you messaged me, I could tell you couldn't go to sleep. Speaking of legacy, we are in 2026. This year is the 40th anniversary of the Bahia Girl and the Hammer triumph. 1986, when David Rudder sang the Hammer and Bahia Girl and swept through all of the competitions, including Panorama. And we all know anyone from 2 years old could finish the song Pim 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 Bam Bam, or whatever you choose to call it.
Yes.
So April of 85, Hammer went to sleep. Desperados coming down Laventille Hill. A sea of people are coughing on top of a sea of people. I was 9 years old and seeing this as the feature story on the news at 7 o'clock. Could not understand what all of that was about. Now I can appreciate it. What is the legacy that we are leaving? What are we telling the next generation, either verbally or non-verbally, about what is important to us? Can what is important to us be found on TikTok?
Well, I think the panorama this year captured all of the elements of that, because in the interviews, it came out that a lot of the young pan people, a number of things came out of the interviews. A a lot of the pan sides are investing in youth sides, a young people side to the big band. And there is a tremendous desire being expressed by the young people to get into the big band, to get into the panorama side, and not just to settle for junior panorama. All right. And then we had people like you would know Michelle Watts. All right.
What's correct?
All right. Who is the captain of what was the band it is? She's the captain of now. Phase 2.
She was in Valley Harps before.
Well, yeah, she was in Valley Harps. Yeah, but I think she's captain of Phase 2 now. I think so. But when you hear her talk about the kind of a enthusiasm and the things that have been done, she is doing I think she's doing a PhD now in carnival studies. All right. So in terms of the formal world of education, Pan and Kaiso and Mass is making very slowly some inroads. But if we're going to talk about educating our nation, it becomes immediately apparent that we have vehicles, instruments, mechanisms through which we can communicate critical core values and cultural elements to the coming generation, so that we have continued evolution and that we may be able to avoid, the revolution. I don't know. The revolution not necessarily bad. I understand that.
Yes, it's healthy. Evolution happens when it has to happen, and revolution when it has to happen.
Yeah.
Important things happen. So the education curriculum that you're speaking about, this would be the evolution. The revolution would be something like a small group of people who care enough about the culture, about the cuisine, about the arts, about the entertainment, coming together and saying, this is what is important to us, and we believe it can be important to you. Let's have a conversation. Share with them what's important, the culture.
Let me give you a little sponsorship opportunity and a little promotion opportunity. I know that you are busy, because when I called you and asked you if you were listening to the panorama, you said no, you was busy organizing your event, your Ash Wednesday event called what?
It's Experience Cultivate. A culinary and cultural showcase. It's a 12-month journey through Trinidad and Tobago, packaged as a 6-hour event experience. So for the visitors, for example, you purchase one airline ticket and spend 1 week in Trinidad Carnival, doing all the things, going to the Pan, obviously, the fetes, you do Juve, you do your beads and bikini on the road on Ash Wednesday. When you're finished with it, you come to the Millfleur Heritage Site on the magnificent 7 in Port of Spain, and you get to experience the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, the culture, the cuisine, the arts, and the entertainment.
Hard to beat. Sir Charles, you open lines yet, boy? Hello. Like Sir Charles getting knocked off, boy. All right, how much is a ticket for Cultivate, boy?
$100 US gives you 1 year in Trinidad and Tobago. All of the cuisine, all of the culture, all of the arts, all of the entertainment.
So you condensed into how many hours? 6 hours, is it?
6-hour event experience from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
6 hours.
Yes.
How long is a 12-month a 12-month experience condensed into 6 hours? Is that?
Yes. So you're getting from Christmas to Diwali. Everything that we do in Trinidad.
Right. So is Parang, is Diwali, is Carnival, everything in one.
That's right.
Package.
That's right, sir.
Well, you should probably be charging $550 US.
Exactly. It's a heavily subsidized cost for the same remittances that go out and don't come back in. It's an opportunity for us to educate them and demonstrate to them what they're missing. Apart from the doubles, the bacon shark, and Maracas Bay. There's more to us than that.
Much more to us than that. All right.
Yeah.
So
So, God, I am back with you. Sorry about that. I had to just go downstairs to collect something.
not
Um,
a problem.
I'm back with you. So, people, you can call us at 281-1315. That's 281-1315 or 299-5156. You can regular call us or you can WhatsApp call us. It's up to you, but you can
All
just
right.
call us.
You have Adrian, you have David Cooper as part of the cultivating, demonstrating wire bending and so on. Tell us about that now.
Yeah, Dave Cooper is a multi-talented artist. So he is going to do his Wireman initiative, can teach you how to make a wire figurine in under 5 minutes. I've seen it for myself, I wouldn't believe it. That's something else. And it's a part of the many talents that he has. He also does graphics, he also does decor and design. And he's also singing a panorama tune, All Day I Dream About Soca.
I have not
So,
heard it.
yes, I will share it with you. He is going to be doing the Wireman initiative as a workshop starting in a couple of days at the Port of Spain City Hall. It's going to be all day.
All right.
And
The Wireman Initiative. That's the title of the event. The Wireman Initiative.
yes,
Guys,
and
let me just interrupt you all for 1 minute. Caller, good morning.
Hey, morning, Garth and your guest. Yeah. Well, interesting thing you're mentioning the Louvre and all these spaces that I always look at if you don't have a philosophy within your cultural space, and you go direct to the money, you never know how to set up the systems for it to move from one generation to generation.
Yes.
From a cultural, political mindset, anything. Because if we're looking at the North Stand, which was a people's stand at one time, it's now been gentrified. RBC, all the big corporations block up the thing. So the people now have to leave the North Stand, and now you move to the drags. They put you up. So think
Interesting.
about it. We like to celebrate the pan, but the very Pan Trambago people are the ones, National Carnival Commission are the ones orchestrating that and orchestrating it in a way where you're blocking the people. The people used to push the pan and hold the pan and support the pan cannot now afford to get in the very space. So we have to be careful. And that's how when you lack that kind of philosophy, or you must have a philosophy that the pan belongs to the people, culture, and how you educate within the community. When Lloyd Best mentioned the thing about pan, not in school in pan, was an interesting kind of conversation. It still exists at the point, and I know it's still going on because that's what happens within the space. But how you take it from and understand it within the state control of how you can use the pan to as a center for learning, for community building and all that kind of stuff, and all kind of
Absolutely.
different types, engineering, welding, people, the psychology and thing. And when you do all those things, the creative thing, the money will come. That's the thing. The funny thing about culture is that once you set it up in a way, it's just money always.
Perpetuates itself. Yeah.
But it does that. That's how culture operates. The thing you just have to manage it in a way that you don't kill it.
Right.
We have seen that in New York. In New York, tourism, big market, but they almost outpriced Manhattan to the point where artists had to leave and they had to find affordable housing to keep the artists, because New York exists within a cultural mindset. Artists, but so they had to find a way to bring them back. But in Trinidad, we always the first equation is I want to make money, and then we throw everything out and we're killing it. And that North Stand is an example of that, and all like that Greens thing, and I'm just trying to hustle some money on the side because we're only hustling the money, and then big argument within the cultural mainframe about what going on, and the pool thing that they try just to hustle it, and so. But it's just some of the simple things that you could do to create economy within the economy. But we always go first for money and last about the philosophy and setting up the ecosystems that you need. And that's it. But it's existing, right? But it's not. When the state come in, the state don't understand how to utilize it. We're done with all the thing with the Vogue and the film company and Music TT and all those kind of things. Some of them have hit the mark fairly all right, film company and all of them. But a lot of them really couldn't manage it or understand how to deal with culture, because first, let's talk about the ecosystem that the culture exists in and look at the people who bring culture. And some of the middle class people, the bourgeois blacks, who have the education and get the positions to manage the working class, to know how that is work. And that's why when Lloyd Best made that statement, nobody couldn't handle it, because they just couldn't understand how to deal with the ecosystem that they're talking about, and that we had to learn how to get grounded. All right, fellas.
Okay.
What do you suggest we do in order to create that, create and manage and develop those ecosystems?
Yeah, but he has gone because we are running out of space and time.
All right.
Maybe on the next occasion we'll probably expand it a little more.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks, Adrian. And thanks, that was Junior who called?
No, that was Dean, actually.
Dean, okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the participation. Thanks to all our listeners. And understand that having listened to our show this morning, if you didn't understand it before, you have a responsibility to your culture. And you must it's not enough to criticize. You must get involved and see what you can do as an individual to move us in the right direction and to help us recognize the pricelessness of what we have, our crown jewels, and for us to promote it continually and continuously and not limit ourselves to 2 days of Carnival. Sir Charles, people can contact me at 680 by WhatsApp, please. Message by WhatsApp 680-3185. That's 680-3185. And keep your ears to the ground and see if you can get your $100 US ticket for Cultivate on Ash Wednesday at Millfleur Cultural Heritage Site right there in Savannah. Come and understand. Get in 6 hours. Get how long? What? 12 months. I seen your lips moving, man. Not hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, it's very muted.
Yeah.
25% proceeds of that goes to charity, and remaining 75 goes towards organizing for more businesses to get a chance to improve.
Small businesses. Cultural.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks a lot, Sir Charles.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you very much, Garth. And people, this has been Every Cent Counts right here on New Era TT Radio. So don't go anywhere. We have our news that is straight ahead.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve.